Sure. Yeah, whatever you want. I don't have one that I need from you, so like you can do anything.
Which one do I like the best? Okay, between this one. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter.
All right. So I believe that we are live. Welcome everybody to the No Pants Improv Conspiracy Theory Talk Show. Today we're doing a talk show style improvised talk show style show or something like that, where we are all going to present to you short segments about conspiracy theories of the host's choice, and everyone will come in and improvise a nice little show for you. Next Sunday on December 13th at the same time and place, we are doing a puppet show for the holidays, and it'll be Puppets Uncensored. And life is great. We're all here. We're excited to be here, and we're going to put on a great show for you. So we're all going to go dark, and I hope that our first host is ready. And when we come back, we present to you the Conspiracy Theory Talk Show.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. We're super glad you could tune in. Hopefully you're here for the right reason. Welcome, one and all. For the former Orlando Conspiracy Theory, we were given the advice that we should narrow down and focus more. So welcome to the Altamont Mall Conspiracy Break. All of the information you'd like to know about the Altamont Mall, Central Florida's second largest mall. My name is David. I'm excited to be here. We have our co-host will come on now. This is Trish. Trish and I met here at the food court. And as you know, Trish and I are bound by the time limit, so I'm just going to go ahead we get in trouble if we take longer than our 10-minute break. So this is our usual 10-minute section. There's been a lot going on in the mall. I don't know how we're going to cover it all. Where do you think we need to start? What? I understand that broke a really big story about the Cinnabon. I wonder if you want to start with that.
I was going to say, I mean, if we're not going to talk about the Cinnabon, we might as well not be here.
Why the fuck are we here?
Why are we even here?
Yeah.
The Cinnabon is probably the biggest breaking story in the Altamont Mall since as long as I can remember. And I've been obsessed with this mall pretty much since I was 16 and could drive myself here. Before that, I didn't come here because my mom didn't want to drive this far, and so she would always drop me off at the shitty mall. That's closer to
the Colonial Mall, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to steal your thunder. I feel like you had a whole speech prepared about the Cinnabon. Do you want to start us off?
I mean, the Cinnabon's clearly run by werewolves. I think that's a fair thing to say. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've been getting larger at a scale that just makes no sense for human beings.
Wow. I like the way you just launched into that. I think I like that you're quick and to the point. I thought you were going to tell the story about what we saw behind the dumpster. I'll tell it. Okay. Is it okay if I tell it?
That's fine.
So it all started on a Thursday evening. It was raining out. It had been raining all day, so everything was pretty soaked. We were out on our break, and sometimes we like to walk around the mall. Not all the way, because that would be ridiculous.
It's too far.
We walk around the parking lot just to stretch our legs. Sometimes we see, like smokers and stuff out there, which is what we thought this was, a smoker in a raincoat. But upon closer inspection, we realized it was not a smoker in a raincoat devouring a burger. It was indeed a werewolf with an entire foot, a human foot. Needless to say, came right back, wrote it down, tried to take a picture of it. Weirdest thing though, conveniently, when we look back at the pictures, they were blurry.
Yeah, so. It's common misperception. People are like, "Hey, where's the photo of the werewolf?" And it's like they're far too fast for conventional lenses to get. So if you see a clear photo of a werewolf, that's what you should recognize as a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't get a clear picture of a werewolf. Those suckers, they're just a big blur of fur. Yeah, so we're pretty much at a weird place with this because we know something about Cinnabon that we know we shouldn't be
Or it
knowing.
is more like Cinemut when you think about it. Hashtag Cinemut. Let's start it trending here, everyone.
Oh man, sometimes stuff that comes out of my mouth, I don't like, it's just pure genius, but it's like comes up from somewhere just pure, I guess.
Sears is lucky to have you.
Thank you.
I just, yeah.
For a while it was it was hard. Sears has been closing for more than a decade. So anyway,
Moving on. I want to bring up it's time for an exciting segment of the show that we often have going on. That segment, of course, is Worldwide What, where I quickly run through what's on the current Altamont Mall website, and Bree lets you know the actual subtext of the story, what's really going on. So I'm going to go ahead and share with our audience here. This is the website of the Altamont Mall. It's having a hard time pulling it up, which is classic.
Convenient.
Right, of what's going on for that. Let's see what we've got here. All right, if you're able to see that, right at the top, let the magic begin. You want to go ahead and say what that's about?
I mean, it's so obvious. We've clearly all been duped into, believing that we need to be coming to the mall to buy gifts, to bring magic home. But which one of us hasn't seen a weird apparition in our living room on Christmas Eve? That's where the real magic is. Now, magic's nothing I would toy with. Wouldn't you agree?
No,
magic.
I don't think you should even watch the series Charmed.
Oh God, don't even get me started. Magic will flat out kill you. All of this, I'm sorry, I'm getting heart palpitations.
That's okay. I want to quickly go through to make sure we get these. It also has a note from Curbside Pickup, which is, of course, that's exactly what they want at the burger place in the mall. Senor Burger Palace is, they tell you we've got a new curbside pickup, but I think it's suspicious, certainly. They're right near the entrance, so why do they even need that, right? That's
You're already practically on the curb.
right.
What's happening out there?
And I've noticed a lot of goths out there, so I'm pretty sure vampires seems like a safe bet.
Yeah.
For that. Finally, the final thing I'm going to put down here, magical moments in the memory grove. I feel like they're not even trying to hide what they're going on there. Do you want to talk about that?
This really reminds me of a really hard day at the mall that I had when I was a child. And why don't you?
Oh, sure. I think it's a pretty clear case. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a note here. I just got a page that the B. Daltons, it's a bookstore that's somehow still here, is having a sale on self-improvement books, which I think is something to do with dolphins. I'm just going to put that out there.
Self-improvement is like a dolphin.
I'm glad you said that. So before we go, I just wanted to sort of mention this final thing. You're at Sears. You have the inside picture of what's going on. I think a lot of our listeners really want to find out, if there's something you had to know about the Sears to prepare yourself before you go into the craftsman section. The tools are very compelling there. What do we need to know?
So in the craftsman section, here's the thing. The whole floor, wizards and warlocks. So when you're coming in there, it's going to be real important for you to either protect yourself with, you know, a sort of cape.
Sure.
A cape will do.
Sure. Yep.
If you have like a fur collar on the cape, even better. If you
Okay.
can bring a scepter, that would be really, really good. Otherwise,
Bring to
just
Sears, yeah.
be prepared to kind of go home with a sort of empty, sort of sad feeling in your soul. It'll go away after a couple of days, but here's what's happening is, basically a part of your innocence is being stolen right here at Sears in the craftsman section.
I think I felt that the last time I was in to get my keys cut. Thank you so much. Again, what you did at Sears is amazing. So as a reminder, we have werewolves clearly running the Cinnabon. Signor's Burger most likely has vampires and a heavy goth element. And Sears is infested with magic, and scepter and cape is your big advice here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be here in the food court. Mike, if you're watching this, I know my time is running up. I'll get right back on the register. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm gonna get some waffle fries.
Oh, I love those things.
Okay. So, hello. Okay, great. Thank you. So we're here to talk about something important, something that I think we all recognize is pretty pressing for Americans today, and also just universally, right? The whole world agrees. Lizards running our government, lizards running our major corporations, lizards in controlling the entertainment industry, lizards dictating what we wear to school and to work, lizards procuring items for us at the supermarket that we did not intend to buy and then just end up somehow in our bags. And you're like, what? How did I buy $30 juice? That's ridiculous. That's a lizard. God, I mean, the implications of the lizard conspiracy are so far reaching, it can be hard for me, I mean, to articulate all of them. Lizards decorating our jackets for us in a way that is not flattering. Lizards styling our hair in just like ridiculous, like overly youthful, silly sort of ways. I wake up, I've got pigtails on. Can you think of any, Neil? Any lizard implications?
Yeah, there's a reason why I wear this hat. And it's not just because there's tinfoil under it.
No.
That whole hairstyling thing you mentioned, that's real.
You know why? You know what the lizards are doing is they're trying to style our hair as if we had reptilian scales. It would be complementary if we had them. If we had the protuberation here for our eyes, then this would be a compliment. But instead, what I look like is infantile. I look silly and you can't take me seriously, and yet I choose to wear this to a business meeting. No, it can't be. It's lizards. I first became aware of the lizard issue personally. This is a personal story and one very much so from the heart. When I was at Pets and Go at the mall, it was, God, I think it was about 5 years ago now. And I went in, my true intention was to buy or at least look at or pet a gerbil. And that was what was in my heart. And I get in there and I find myself transfixed and unable to move or walk away from a salamander. Not a lizard, right? I know what you're thinking. That's an amphibian. That's a completely different kind of animal. Shh, is what I have to say to you. It's a lizard. It counts as a lizard. The lizard umbrella is so much farther reaching than you might imagine. So I'm transfixed. I'm hypnotized by it. I buy the damn thing. I take it home, and my then partner says, absolutely no way. You were supposed to get a gerbil. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, how did this? And so I start Googling, psychic powers, lizards, mind control, and it all unfolded for me. Neil, what's your origin story for your awakening to the lizard plague?
Yeah, no, I think it all comes back to the hair thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I used to have hair, and it used to be, I used to have a nice, lush head of hair. And then all of a sudden, one night, there was this sort of greenish glow outside my window. And I woke up, and the next thing I knew, I was being held down on a table in their ship, because they come from outer space, and they were feeling their scaly little hands through my hair, trying to understand it. And then ever since they beamed me back, it's all gone.
This is a good opportunity that you've given us to make this is sort of an important distinction, right? There's a lot of overlap, and I see it, and I can't wear, between aliens on the one hand and lizard overlords on the other. And I want to say, I am in no way trying to tell you that there can't be. There's probably some interbreeding even between them. I mean, these programs they're insidious, right? But there is a distinct lizard overlord population that did generate on this earth. The dinosaurs sublimated into tiny lizard creatures that then overtook humankind and culture. So it's a homegrown problem that is commingled with the alien problem. But just for reference, let's go over a couple quick ways to distinguish between an alien from outer space and a lizard overlord homegrown here on planet Earth. One, claws, little tiny little claws. Yeah, that's one good surefire.
Claws of this guy right here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see that? That's exactly right. Two, do you see that scaling pattern? That is 100%. That is a homegrown lizard overlord thing. We don't get that in outer space. They got different conditions up there. Three, lizard overlords are unusually concerned with matters relating to the government of the United States, foreign policy, entertainment. Whereas aliens, they have sort of larger concerns because their playing field is bigger. So while they dabble in controlling our minds, that's not their goal, right? But the surefire way to know that what you're dealing with is a lizard is if they double cross you when you did not deserve it and you have done nothing but be a friend to them. That is how you know that you are dealing with a effing lizard, because...
Yeah, that's right, because lizard people don't understand the human concept of friendship.
No, they do not. They do not. Or love. Good Lord, they do not. They are what, when somebody is described as a quote unquote sociopath, what that is, what you are dealing with, well, I think it goes without saying, right? It's a lizard. It's a lizard. A lizard or an amphibian or a nematode, or there's a number of different classes, anything really that's segmented or scaled under the umbrella. So, okay, so I want to open it up to callers. I want to hear some more origin stories. For me, you've heard it from my beautiful co-host, Neil, you've heard it. Who on the lines has got a personal story where they've interacted with a lizard monster? Okay, we've got a Marjorie Reptilizak. That's an interesting name. I duly noted.
Yeah, hello, this is Marjorie. Okay, so I have a problem. And that's one time when I was pretty young, I'd say maybe, 26, 27, I was out in my mama's backyard and I encountered a very tiny lizard. It was very, very tiny.
They're often very sweet.
Perhaps you could see here.
Oh, yeah.
By the size of my finger, it was real tiny, and it had big claws. And I'm afraid because I was stupid enough to get so close to it, Do you see these claws here? That I'm afraid that it may have infected me, and now I might be part of an alien race.
I was about to say, you have already exhibited some powers that tell me lizard, right? Because you just mentally reached out and controlled our broadcast screen, which to me is about as lizardy as it gets and terrifying. I want to put that out there. I'm terrified by that. We're still looking at this lizard, I just want to say.
Yeah, I didn't know they could get so small. You know, I'm worried maybe it crawled under my skin or a part alien.
Oh, it did. It crawled under your skin or up your nostril. It did. I mean, 100%.
Oh!
Be a lizard, you should assume penetration. It's some.
Yeah.
It's some
Okay, now here's the important part. Maybe you all can help me with. I've had children since then, and do I have to tell my children now that they're alien spawn, or like what is the protocol for such a disaster, a catastrophe, really?
That is going to be made so clear to them on its own during the puberty phase. When they start spawning eggs, it's going to be irrefutable for them. They're not going to be confused.
Yep. Marjorie, I tell you what, when your kids start going through puberty, you just give me a call.
No.
I'll come right on over. I'll take care of it. All right?
What we talk about, we can't threaten overt violence against the lizards because they will come after us, just the way that they have come after me before by mysteriously entering my bank account and having large expenditures, which I cannot account to Spencer's gifts. So.
Just to be clear here, so I have to tell my children their mother has been penetrated by a lizard alien.
That would be probably right. I just want you also to think, anybody who's still reeling from the U.S. election, I just want you to remember they're all lizards. Everybody's a lizard. There's no way to escape that. Lizards everywhere. Just remember that. So don't get too bogged down in it, right? Just remember that you and I and everybody else, we believe in lizard people. We hear you. We see you. You are seen. You have been penetrated. Probably more times than you even know by lizards. Okay.
Terrifying, but true.
Yeah. Just stay strong. Stay strong. Hail lizards.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. I'm new to all this. This is Tommy McAmore from Great Forest Middle School, and this is my new show. Welcome to my new show, The Lunchroom Hour. Now, today I have a very good friend on with me. His name is Zachary Timms. Zachary, could you come on and join us? Now, I've asked Zachary to join me today because he is my very best friend in the whole world, and I'm not jealous at all that he's gone through puberty and everything before me. I know a lot of the ladies like him more than me, and let's just say he's a great guy, and I think, everybody, my mom says they go through what feels right when it feels right. Isn't that right, Zachary?
That's right, Tommy. Oh, shoot. My puberty's so quick. I just shaved my mustache off, and then it already came back on. Sorry about that, Tommy.
Yeah, Zachary, let's dive right into it. Now, you and I recently came across the lunchroom lost and found. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
And in that lunchroom lost and found, we found a pile of scarves. And I would like to know, whose scarves are these? Why are there so many scarves? I think something in the lunchroom is taking the scarves and from the children. Maybe some elves, I don't know. Zachary, your first impressions on all these scarves?
My first impressions is that someone is trying to put together a really long rope so that they can escape from a very high tower.
Yeah.
That's my first thought.
Yeah. My first thought is maybe all these scarves belong to Miss Mulaney because nobody likes her. And I did see her wear one just like this the first day of school last year. And I'm really hoping that these elves are stealing from her.
They very well might be. Maybe in the first place, she is a scarf hoarder. Maybe she goes round to all of the Goodwills and the Savers and buys up every scarf, even though there are kids that are cold in the winter, that don't have any scarves, and they walk into the Goodwill and they're like, why aren't there any scarves available for me here? I'm sorry that my beard grew back in while we were talking.
Yeah, no, Zachary, that's understandable. I'm just playing with scarves still, and you're shaving. I mean, that's the thing about being 13. It's not always fair. And, the next subject I'd like to talk about today, Zachary, and this is a really important subject to me, is why is the pizza square? Why is the pizza square?
That has boggled my mind the whole semester, okay? Because pizzas were made to be round. There is a plate, and the plate is round, and the pizza is supposed to fill up the whole plate. And if you give me a plate that has a square pizza on it, either one of two things happens. The square pizza is too big, and you have some falling off of the plate, or the square pizza is too small, and now there's bits of plate that don't have pizza on them.
Yes, and I gotta tell you, Zachary, this plagues me, as you know, as my friend. We've had many a sleepover, and I tell you, why does the pizza have to be square? Who is running the operation? Zachary, lay it on us.
I have a notification right here. Look at the shape of scarves, and then look at the shape of the square pizza. And while we're talking about it, look at the shape of the tables in here.
Oh my God! It's Mrs. Mullaney. I heard she used to work in a lunchroom in prison. That's what I heard. And I don't know why she was in prison exactly, but do you remember the Square Scarf Bandit in the 1980s? There was a Square Scarf Bandit.
Yeah.
The serial killer.
Yes. They went around killing everybody that had any scarves. And so in the winter, pretty much wiped out the town of Wichita Falls, Texas.
That's not cool. Yeah, that's not cool at all. Hey, Zachary, before I see if anybody wants to call into our show, I'm wondering if you have any Grape Forest middle school conspiracy theories, maybe about the lunchroom, you'd like to present to us today on this inaugural show of my show, The Timmy Show, here in the lunchroom at Grape Forest High School.
I do have one.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed that at one end of our lunchroom is a stage, and at the other end is also a stage? But have you ever seen a show happening on both of those at one time?
No, not ever, not ever, Zachary.
Two stages in a lunchroom, unless you were planning on having a battle of the bands at the same time, but that never ever happened in here.
This is blowing my mind, Zachary. Blowing my mind. I gotta be honest, not only have I not seen two shows simultaneously on these two stages, I haven't even seen one and then the other back to back. So I don't really see any. To be honest with you, I actually never seen anything performed on that stage behind you, Zachary. I've only seen him use this one.
What if we opened those curtains and it was full of scarves and square pizzas?
My God. I think we gotta do it. I think we gotta do it. All right, why don't you walk back there and check behind those curtains? I gotta know.
This is Great Forest Elementary. A reminder, pizza for lunch. As a reminder, students, we will be having pizza for lunch.
Zachary, what'd you find, Zachary? Zachary! Oh my God. Oh my God. I think something happened to Zachary, but it's okay. I got my first caller. I'll check on Zachary in a minute. Tiff, do you know how to help Zachary or perhaps what's behind there? Be honest, I'm a little afraid of going back there to save him. Tiff, you got a question or a conspiracy to share?
Hey, Timmy. We have math together. I was wondering if you could ask Zachary if he would want to go to the spring fling with me.
Oh, Tiff, I gotta check on Zachary. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna check on him in a minute, but I have to tell you, I know for a fact he's been talking about you. I think you're gonna get a good answer.
Really?
I think you're gonna get an answer that you like. And in just a minute, when I work up the nerve, I'm gonna go and check on him.
You're okay. So what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna put on my brave face pants and I'm gonna just pull back that curtain, and if I find even more scarves than I found before, I'm gonna really hope Zachary's not swinging from them. I heard a little gurgle, and I hope he's okay. But
No.
I think it's just my mama says I just get a little scared sometimes, and I just gotta go do it. So I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go over there. Tiff, I'll have Zachary get back to you, and I'll let you know in class what he says. And give me a second, I gotta go check.
Okay, well, bye. I just meant how are you gonna ask him, but okay, bye.
Tommy!
Zachary,
Where'd it go, Tommy?
that was terrifying. I'd never seen so many scarves in my life, man.
Neither.
Man, all right, well, this concludes our time here at the Great Forest Timmy Show Lake High School Tommy Zachary thing, and we'll talk to you next week. What's behind the scarves? Come join us next week for What's Behind the Scarves.
Hey, how's it going out there, fellow bird fans? I am Freddie Flamingo, and you all know my co-host, Regina Ravens. Give her a warm welcome, as you always do. Now, this week, we'll continue our discussion about birds.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they go in the winter? And as this discussion we've had steadily going on about 8 months, and we've gotten ourselves some very interesting theories. I don't want anybody to call in today with this whole migration bullshit again. Lizzie, if anybody calls in with that, just hang up.
I'm sick of that. I'm just so sick of that, really.
Yeah. You're making Regina sick of it.
Yeah, making me really upset. Like, obviously.
You guys like making Regina upset? Look at her face.
I can't even think about it. Just like, I get like, it's like, why are you wasting my time? Why are you wasting everybody's time? It's so cruel.
Yeah. We got better things to do out here in Wichita.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful clear day outside. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a bird. I've seen some birds, obviously, but the majority of the birds have gone. again.
Exciting birds. Yeah, the exciting birds are all gone.
And we know where they don't go, but we don't know where they do go, do we, Regina?
We do not know. I look for them sometimes. Like I get up and I get up at weird times. Like I get up like early and I get up like maybe like 4 a.m. and I go to catch them, like surprise them, and they're not there. They're nowhere that I'm looking.
Yeah, Regina sends me texts at 4 a.m. And so I get all the details, and never once have I seen her text me a bird.
I document it really like exhaustively. Lots of pictures of like no birds, places with no birds.
Yep, just like the yard. There was like somebody's Christmas decorations have gone up. Shoes, sent me your shoes on Tuesday.
I just keep waiting to see a bird in there. Like
Yeah.
just one, just to prove they're around. But
that was one of the going theories. Are the birds somehow
in the shoes?
In the shoes. We've probably ruled that out. It's worth coming back to. I would say it's always worth exploring. I think
that's the thing is like you can't really prove a negative. Like so, it could be that they're there, and we just like we can't prove that they're not there.
Correct. Regina is just a couple of course credits away from getting her associate's degree in migratory relations between local sparrows down here at the Wichita Community College, WCC.
Woo! Go Cougars!
She knows what she's talking about. Anything interesting in the textbooks worth passing on to our listeners?
It's incredible, like the amount of interference and resistance I have encountered in academia, in the so-called ivory tower, to my obvious convictions that there is no such thing as migration. You'd think migratory studies would be open to the possibility that there'd be the lack of migratory things to study, right? But my advisor keeps saying, no, document bird flight patterns. And I'm like, no, I can't.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah, it's so funny because they always say document the flight. No one's ever done that. Literally, there's no record in existence. I don't know if you guys know that, but there's actually no scientific evidence whatsoever to support that birds migrate. None. Zero.
No, not one little bit. The textbooks I have are full of just like conjecture and like hocus pocus and like just straight up made up facts. Like, oh, there's a picture of a series of birds migrating. I'm like, okay, yeah, you can read their minds. You know what those birds are up to.
Oh, I like that. I love that impression of, yeah, I love that. That's, yeah, you know, I'm sick and tired of hearing it. I think it's time to hammer down the real ideas. And one thing we've talked about pretty extensively on the show is if the birds aren't migrating and they're leaving, then they're clearly going to Washington, where they are
controlling our government, basically.
Controlling the government. So I didn't want to say it so blatantly, but it's true. You know, the blatant truth needs to be blatant.
People shy away so much from the fact that birds and lizards are closely related, right?
Very closely related. Essentially the same thing. We might as well call seagulls tyrannosaurs.
Yeah, yes. Gosh, I love hearing you talk about birds.
Yeah, or the lack thereof. Well, listen, we got plenty of birds here in the summer.
They're everywhere, just everywhere, in my shoes.
Yep, and they'll come, they'll steal your food, they'll shit on you, on your car. So much noise in the morning. Have you ever heard a blue jay? You just want to kill the motherfucker. And that's because the close relationship to Congress members. Okay. Listen to the words I'm saying.
Yeah. It's so it's so close. Like when you even look at the patterns of like congressional or legislative like travel, you can see that they match the so-called migratory patterns of birds. Like they're in session and then they go home. It's like, oh, they're going home. They're migrating, but nobody wants to say it.
Yeah. Birds are in recess. Am I right? Hey, let's get a drink later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if we're gonna have any calls today, Lizzie. Just field them through if you've got them. We would love to hear from you. How has Congress impacted you directly? What birds have you seen? Lizzie says there's a call, so let's hear it from caller. Can I get your name, please?
Oh God. See, this is what I'm saying. Okay.
Hang up, Lizzie.
That makes me so anxious. Like, I know they're watching us. And then it's like, there's the proof.
The proof
They're trying to stop me from getting my associate's degree.
No, nothing will ever stop you from getting your associate's degree. Regina, you are fucking like literally the smartest woman I know. Looks like we have another caller. Caller.
Okay.
It's a video call.
Oh my God.
From a kind of.
If we ever needed more proof of the fact that
there is recording this, Lizzie.
Intermingling.
Lizzie, tell me we're not recording. Are you serious? You didn't plug the thing into the. She didn't plug the thing into the
Viewers, believe your eyes. It's real. Duckmen are real. And they are terrifying.
Where there are duckmen, there are other bird men.
Bird people.
Probably women.
Mm-hmm. Probably women, but not necessarily, because I feel like duckmen could well, don't let me, I get excited.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I
just feel like we, as women, we still have eggs. So I don't know if they need lady duck birds, because like sometimes like if I meet an attractive man and I suspect he's a duck, it doesn't stop me from fornicating, because I'm still open. I want to be open. And also if they control the government, I want to be on board, right? Wrong. No, wrong. Just kidding. I was just kidding. I didn't mean that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little sidelined by all the talk about the openness and the eggs and just your like general femininity is like it's a little distracting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. We'll talk about it next time.
Okay.
Until then, stay awake and keep looking up. That's our show.
All right, everybody. Well, I'm Scott McGill. You probably know exactly where you are. We're back here behind the dock. It's also the title of my show, where we talk about the things that, everybody who's down behind the building, working folks like you and me know about, but nobody quite believes. Since it is December, it's our very special Christmas or holiday themed show. I wanted to talk to you about a very important conspiracy around the holidays. That's right, everybody. Santa Claus. Now, I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, Scott, what could be wrong with Santa Claus? You know, I mean, he is just a happy old man who likes to give people gifts. You forgot one very important little section of the legend, though, here, my friends. You see, I think you might have forgotten the part about watching to see who's naughty and who's nice. That's right. That's right. I mean, this whole thing about he sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake, it's just all a plan to get little children used to being spied on by the government. Yep, that's right. And it's about rewarding good behavior. Yep, because if you do stuff that Santa doesn't believe in, then you don't get the goodies of Christmas later on. That's right. And I think some of you are all starting to see a little bit about how this conspiracy has escalated over time. You know, Christmas used to be just a real nice religious holiday. People got together, you know, talked about, I don't know, religion and Jesus and all of that. And then it started to change, right? First, you get a little St. Nicholas leaving candies in your shoes. And then when that wasn't enough, you get the Coca-Cola ads with Santa Claus, and then you start to get that little song, Santa Claus is coming to town. And that's when it really started, my friends. 1948, the year that song was written. And then they decided to take it a little further just a couple of years ago when, they, I think we all know who they are, decided to take this conspiracy up a notch. And so to talk about that, I have an expert here with me, decided to come on down to the loading dock. She's a very special lady and a expert on the elf on the shelf. Go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, ma'am?
Yeah, hello. I am Olga McStorgan, and I am here to talk about Elf on the Shelf. Now, I moved to United States when I was very young girl, and this began 1948 also. And I would hear this song, and I became very nervous about Christmas. You know, I became constantly vigilant because I felt that I was being watched at all times. And I think this never quite stops impacting the childhood psyche, the inner child, so to speak. And I said to myself, Olga, we have to buy in. You know, so you see here, I wear the Christmas lipstick and the Christmas outfit and the Christmas scarf because I know my parents have taught me that I am being judged.
Yep, that's how they get you. That's how they start weaseling their way in.
Yes. And I don't know why this was not enough, but then they bring the elves. Santa started to send the elves, and this is very strange. Okay, this makes all children think not only are you being watched in some sort of metaphorical doing good or bad thing sense, this gives each child a tiny miniature, what they call elf in this country, Ja? And it places this miniature in the house every day somewhere new.
That's right.
To make the child paranoid. And this, I will stop speaking in a minute, Ja, but I just want to say, this is to make the child believe that they must be pliable. They must behave. They must do as they are told, because we don't want in this country any independent thinkers. That's not what they want. And I think we know who they are.
That's right.
Who's behind Santa and all of this, Ja? And this is very detrimental, and I thank you for bringing this to the loading dock today, Ja, to talk about it.
Yeah, no, we're glad we got you down here, Olga. You know, it's real good to meet meet a fellow independent thinker. You know, who sees things the way the rest of us down on the loading dock do. You see, folks, Elf on the Shelf is just the beginning of the surveillance program that they have in mind. If you know what I'm saying, I mean, first, you know, it all started with the sweet little letters and the songs and the parents trying to use that to sort of pull everyone together. And then it was the Elf on the Shelf thing about people watching and all of that. Now what they're doing is they're throwing out a virtual Santa program on everybody's computer and device so that parents can track their children about what they're doing, but it's not just the parents tracking that child. Where else does that information go? That's right. That's right. You know where it goes. Them.
And you know, Neil, I'm so glad that you brought this up and that you invited me here. I think, as I said, it's important to know that they want us to know, Jad, that we are under surveillance so that we do not think independently or act as our conscience would have it, but act as they want us to. And I have seen these elves get into many things, and I will just say one here for time. That is, I have seen elves go through people's taxes, the adults, and report to the IRS who needs to get audited. Now, who are they serving?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You know, I've heard tell of elves on the shelf sneaking into adults' rooms to watch what they're doing as well. You know what I'm saying?
I think the elves are.
Oh God. Oh, you gotta. They found your location. They triangulated you. You gotta go. You gotta go.
I must leave here in 60 seconds. Okay, Neil, but first I tell you that those elves, they're little sick perverts, those elves, and they will watch anything they can get their hands on. You better lock your doors, parents, if you welcome these elves in your house, to watch your children, because it's not only your children they are after. And now I must go. Thank you for having me as guest.
Yeah, go ahead. Get out of here, Uncle Wild. Still safe. See, friends, this is the kind of thing that can happen when the Christmas conspiracy finds you. So I leave you with this one last thought this Christmas. Don't buy anything. Don't buy into the myth of Santa Claus. Don't get your children an elf on the shelf. That's right. Buy your children the gift of independent thinking and make sure that you stay safe and don't let them know you didn't buy nothing. This has been Behind the Loading Dock. Grab a box. Stay safe.
Hi there, this is Tweak Williams. Thank you. You are now watching Community Access Channel 24, Austin, Texas, and it is 1:32 a.m. in the morning, and you are watching Tweak and Turd Williams Community Access show. I would like to bring to the show my twin brother, Turd Williams. Yeah.
Hey, Tweak.
Turd and I have been on a mission of late to expose the speedy stop by our house on Cameron Road, right there near the 183 access road.
It's the camera by the 183, not the other camera road. I just want to be sure we don't besmirch the wrong one.
Yeah, it's a long road. It goes all the way to the middle of town. So, you know. Anyway, Turd and I discovered recently that the soda machine at the Speedy Stop is haunted.
Like major haunted, not like it's because a lot of machines like they don't work when you want them to, so it's like a little haunted. But this thing's got a whole other world of trouble going on.
Yep, yep.
Do we?
It's been noticed by both Turd and myself that the raspberry flavor that you can put inside of the Coke has never once worked in all of the 2 years that he and I have lived in the apartment buildings across the street from the Speedy Stop.
That's a statistical impossibility, if not for an excuse other than haunting.
Yep, yep.
The other day, I came back and I went and we got a beagle named Toby, and I showed Toby it happened again, and Toby howled, but like a there's ghosts going on kind of howl, you know.
Toby does not howl like that. The only time I've seen Toby howl like that was that one time when you and Cheryl were having sex on the couch in the living room.
He howled so hard then it was awkward. It was awkward. I think she was finally going to get there, and then it just blew the moment. And I've been trying to establish, intimacy, and like you hope that that's not the only thing that makes a relationship. But then this machine has to put in a series of motions that just made it hard.
Exactly. Now, I have also had the experience that I have gone to pull out some of those cups and the whole thing comes out as if there is some force on the other side that is pushing them through.
It's impossible by the laws of physics as we understand them to pull on one and get them all. It's making energy, right? It violates the conservation of energy unless a ghost's getting its energy up in there.
Turd, you got to listen to Turd because he took AP physics when we were in high school.
I wasn't registered for it, but I went into the wrong room and I stuck it out because we're the kind of brothers who stick things out, you know?
Exactly. Now, Turd and I do have a theory about why this machine is haunted and has been haunted. We do believe that the corporate bigwigs at Speedy Stop have engineered, genetically modified ghosts that they have put inside this machine to entice and upset customers so that they will get more and more soda, or if they cannot get more soda because the thing keeps going and they just have to put more cups under it, they will go and buy the bottled stuff, which is more expensive, even though it costs pennies to make that soda. But you have to buy it for $2.59 for a 16-ounce Coke rather than 79 cents for a 44-ounce Coke.
I feel so stupid when I buy that. Like, I know it is a bad value proposition, but there I do it. And I've got to think that these stupid capitalists are putting ghosts up in this machine and setting forth a series of complicated events that result in us buying soda in a form and cost that make no sense.
They have turned us into those mice that go through a Rube Goldberg machine, right? You're right. This is what we are. Just do what they say.
Right. But it's not enough. They don't just give us the cheese. No, they've got to make us purchase things we don't need. They've got to interrupt our lovemaking. There's so much. I didn't want to bring this up, but you last Thursday, I know we weren't going to talk about last Thursday, but I think you got to share.
Okay, fine. Last Thursday, I had Deborah come to the house. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have women come to the house. I don't want to be in a committed relationship. But
Can't
things
hold that cowboy down.
Exactly. But things were getting hot and heavy with Deborah. And also, I was watching Turd, and Turd was having this nice, close relationship with Cheryl. And I had feelings about it. And I had Deborah come to the house.
I didn't know you were having feelings about it. I didn't know.
I was.
I would never do anything to violate a brother's bond like that.
I know.
I'm an idiot. I'm
No,
I'm
Turd,
sorry.
not an idiot. Not an idiot.
I don't know. Oh, we're blaming ourselves. But we're not. It didn't start with us.
Nope, it started right here.
Right there.
Right the fuck here with this soda machine. Because if this soda machine was working that evening, Turd would not have run in to my bedroom and stopped the coitus between myself and Deborah in a panic.
I was panicked.
Turd.
Yeah.
I love you, man. We have a caller.
Well, okay. Let's bring it in.
Don't cry. It's going to stop you from crying.
I'm not. I got all the tears out on Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
Caller, are you there?
Yeah, it's me, Jed, long-time listener, first-time caller, and I just wanted to talk to you about the whole cup thing that you were talking about before, that brotherly exchange of love. I think I figured out a way to beat the system with the cups. I bring my own cup. They don't even know it.
How do you make it a size that they'll know the correct amount to charge for?
Well, that's the thing. See, I take a cup. I took a cup once, and I just keep bringing it in, like the same cup, and they don't know. And then I'm not exposed to those forces, like spraying cups out of the machine, and they think that I've bought into the system, but I've really rebelled. I'm just pretending to be one of them.
Can I ask him something?
Of course, Turd. This is our show. It's the Tweak and Turd Williams show.
I know, but you were really the creative zeitgeist behind it. I'm riding your coattails, and it's a place I'm okay with. Look, are you, by following this, are you able to bring your lovemaking to completion?
Well, I gotta tell you, it took a little while. It took a while for the chemicals to leach out of the cup, so that it wouldn't affect me anymore. But gotta tell you, now I am able to be a man, if you know what I'm saying.
Well. It seems that we have uncovered a part of the corporate Speedy Stop conspiracy, and that is that their cups over time cause one to not be able to end their love making session. But if we stop the cups and protest against the cups, we will be able to serve our needs and the needs of our others.
Oh God.
I feel like once we get this, I think next week we might be ready to tackle fuel pump number 3.
You got it, Turd.
Because that fuel pump's got stuff going on that you wouldn't believe.
It's true. Join us next week on Tweak and Turd Williams Community Access Show, 1:32 in the morning, Austin Channel 24, and we will uncover that gas pump.
I love you, man.
I love you, man.
I'm going to use one of these cups, though.
I think I speak for us all when I say How touching. Thank you for joining us for the Conspiracy Theory Talk Show tonight. Our next show will be a week from today at 6:30 p.m. Central, same place, and it'll be Puppets Uncensored Holiday Show. And I don't know about you guys, but I have to rethink my cup situation. And also, I was probably definitely impregnated by lizards, and so I must go take care of that. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.